Everyone, Mr. Science Smasher back here with another Crossout video. Today I'm going to be showcasing to you how to build a rear for the Catalina part set and actually complete the car itself. So let me just get to an available slot and clear out the build space. So today we are going to use the Catalina cab, which is based off of a 1958 Plymouth Fury. It came out a few years ago in a Halloween event as a shop pack. So what we're going to need to do is start off by placing two frames.
Oh, me neither.
Wade is occasionally going to give us little things. Where is he? There he is. Anyways, back to the build. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the size frames we will need. It is not. Okay, so you're going to need to get frames shaped like this. You need two 1x8 frames and then a 4x4 frame at the rear. A 4x4 frame will hold the rear wheels and the 1x8s will hold our radar in between them. So then you place your Catalina cab with 4 pins of space on the frames in front of it, and then between the rear here just 1 pin of space, but make sure that there's 2 pins of space between, I guess, the side here and then the rear of the frames, and also make sure that the cab is sticking over the rear a little bit too, by half a pin. So then what you're going to have to do is you go down to your Maxwell radar if you have one. If you don't have one, you could just use a car jack here and just stick a different radar on the roof maybe. But Maxwell is the best radar for art builds because of its size. It's 2x4x2 pins in size, so it fits snugly in most art builds. So then after that you're going to need to get your low clearance wheels if you are lucky enough to have them, and then place them like so. You have a nice sturdy-ish foundation for your wheels. And then just to get things started, you're going to have to put together the front of the Catalina using its front part, its nose cut, and its fenders. Now currently this is just how the Catalina is. Unfortunately the devs haven't given it a rear or a bonnet, which kinda sucks. So let's get right into the rest of the build and start finishing it. Now most people building this car would just put a Avia large panel here, which does work, but when painted the rust shows quite a lot and it doesn't really link up to the nose cut that well. But what I discovered recently is that instead, if you use a rollover part, it does actually link up with the nose cut. Now I know I just got rid of the Maxwell right there, but just to demonstrate the rollover parts, I'm just going to leave those in there for a moment. And then just put back the Avia panel. Normally the Maxwell would go here, but that is not the goal for today's video. After that, you're going to need to go up to the Lunatics parts and get some combs. Now keep these in mind, you will need them later. Let me just go back down to the Avia panels, make sure this is the regular ones, and then place it like that so the little line isn't showing. So let me demonstrate. See this line where it's been stitched together? You do not want that showing for a clean build. So you're going to have that hidden underneath the cab, and then place the combs over the top of your rear wheels just like that. And as you can see here, the car is already taking quite good shape. You're going to scroll back up a little bit more and get the Torino rear and place it upside down like this. Now it might look weird putting it upside down instead of right side up, but trust me, this is what you will be wanting to do. After that, you're going to get the final two parts of the Catalina set, which are its two tail fins, right at the bottom, and then place them like so, so they cover up the exhausts. And the reason why we place the Torino rear upside down is so the tail fins don't cover up the tail lights, so all the lights show just like that. And to fill the gap here is a perfect amount of space to put in an interceptor. You could take this out and replace it with a beam, probably one of these medium struts. Whoops. You could just do this and then put a
satisfying sound when a part locks into place. Pure bliss.
So you could put a medium strut here and then put either a car jack or a Maxwell in there, and then have the other bonnet like I said earlier. But just for a clean build, I'm going to go with this. So you're going to go up to your hardware, and this is completely optional. This is just what I'm going to use to fill in the gaps. You could put holograms in here as maybe a better fit, or a little bit of decoration funsies. But I'm just going to use an interceptor because it fits the slot perfectly. So now that we've done that, we're going to go all the way down to the bumpers and get catch bumpers. We are going to place them like so. On each side underneath the cab. This makes the car have a bit of depth and, you know, actually stick underneath the wheels a little bit and hide the frames. Sort of a bit. Then you'll need to get I think it's a protective cover, a frontal protection system. Will do quite nicely. And then at the rear. Oh, I remember what I did last time. Okay. Fumble aside, this is how you do it. So you get your Maxwell, remove it from the front, completely ignore that. That is my bad. And you'll need to place it like this on the rear. This is important for that you have this pin showing right here. You will need it soon. Again, this build has many combinations like I've demonstrated already. As you can see, I'm currently fumbling which one to stick to. So this is just how I'm going to do it. You can see already as I'm fumbling the mind processes of an art builder in this game. So once you've put your Maxwell in the rear and put your rollovers in the front so they link up with the nose cut part, you can get your fishing rods and then stick them on the back like this. Has a couple of antennas. And because Catalina has these very convenient weld points, you're going to get some rover mirrors and place them like so as wing mirrors. These will activate with your headlights, which is very cool. Now you might be thinking, Mr. Science Smasher, these wheels are sticking out quite ugly. And let's fix that, shall we? So you're going to need 4 toppers for this. It's a bit pricey, but 4 toppers. Just place them like so. And then your wheels will be covered much better than before. And now for the final item you'll need to place on here is not the license plate, unfortunately, though you could use it if you don't have this next piece. You need to get a compact exhaust and just place it on your Maxwell. If you want to fill this gap more, I'm just going to get some holograms and just place them in there. I'm going to get the Sword of Damasos and the Dragon Gaze, which will activate.
Perfect weather
Not
for a trip
in the
into
right
Oasis.
space.
Breeze from the
My
sepulchre.
bad.
No raiders, it's paradise.
Paradise indeed. So it doesn't really matter what holograms you put in here. I'm just putting these two in there for the fun. And then that is the body of your Catalina complete. You can decorate it as you wish, but if you're stuck for ideas on how to decorate your Catalina, I'm going to decorate it right now. So I'm going to go down to my paints. And I'm feeling like far north. Just spray that everywhere. On every piece that's exposed. Except for the bumpers, Maxwell exhaust, and etc, etc. So your car should look like this when painted in the main paint color. And if you're wanting to change the color of the bumpers, you can just go down and use chrome, because a lot of cars from the era this one is from had chrome. You can have a chrome exhaust, and you could just have these antennas chrome too. And then to give the wheel, give a bit of variety, you can give the wheels aluminum paint. Sorry, I meant aluminium paint. And after you've painted all that, your painting should be done. Which means you can get onto the final part, which is stickers. Everyone's favourite part. Now you can add any sticker you want for a badge, but I'm going to use these creeping death stickers, because I quite fancy using those. I like this panther sticker. Very useful for making badges on sports cars. Now these next two stickers are actually part of the Catalina set. If you look very closely on the build itself, the Catalina parts have this strange stripe where the rust is, and there's some bolts that gaps too. These are for the eyelash and the walking stick. Now starting with the walking stick, this goes on the rear, so you can just rotate it to line up like that, and then enlarge it to the biggest size, place it like so. You may need to get a different position, move your camera around a little bit, just to get the exact position for it. There you go. Then we go back to the eyelash. You make that as big as possible and then rotate it. And then you place it on top like so. And there you have it. One simple stripe using the two stickers from the Catalina set. To complete this off, let's do this for the other side as well. You will need to rotate your stickers for. Flip them over. Place them just like that once again. Same with the eyelash. You need to flip it and then rotate it. And make sure the rear of the eyelash isn't fading or anything like I'm demonstrating right here. This can be done by moving your camera to face forward the front of the build. And there you have it. Your Catalina now has stripes. And to get rid of the black lines on the toppers, you can just go back up and use the same paint color that you used for the main body. Or you can use aluminium or chrome, whichever you fancy, but I'm going to use the Far North, just like I did for the rest of the car. And that's it, really. Now you could just decorate it however you want. You could put some racing numbers on, put some novelty stuff like these collision course stickers or any stickers really. But to make this seem more like a factory fresh car, I'm going to put some, I guess, numbers on, because a few cars I've seen have little numbers on them as badges. So I'm going to put these 01 badges like so. And then for the model name, you can just use a sticker such as the Gladiator sticker, which is my personal favorite for making a car have a model name. You can just place on the rear here. And if you're feeling like it, or if you can find a space for it, maybe on the front. Or on the rear. Fortunately, I'm having a little bit of trouble placing this one. You will need to finick around your build to get the perfect placements. That is no problem, that is just how it is for us art builders. I'm going to choose to put it here and put it here. Now for the final step to completely finish off your Catalina, you'll need to get either white squares or black squares to cover up the roof. I'm going to choose to use black squares to give it a sort of vinylish feeling. So you just place them like one like that off in front, place another on the rear, and to get rid of these scratches you can just place more on top, simply as so. And there you have it. Your Catalina is complete. 100% complete Catalina in its full glory. Now again, it doesn't really matter which color you chose for the main body. I chose Far North, as you guys saw, but I do strongly recommend using the chrome and aluminium paints as they are, and also using either white or black square stickers on the roof to give the roof a nice touch of color, as well as using these eyelash and walking stick stickers to give it a nice stripe. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see more content such as this. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, as well as Fortnite cosmetic showcases, which I do quite frequently. If you want to leave some feedback, let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. And thank you to DUBBY for continuing to partner with me. Use code PROTOBEE in their shop to save 10% off of your order, and to help out my channel so I can continue to do videos such as this and such as I've already done before in the past. Thank you again once more for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.